So, on today's episode, I wanted to chat all about morning routines. I don't know about you, but for a while, I put a lot of pressure on myself to have the perfect morning routine. What was happening is I was like watching people on Instagram, or I was like part of different mastermind groups I'm in, business coaches, mentors, even watching my husband. And I used to be like, wow, this morning routine thing, like this is important. This is what go-getters do. This is what high achievers do. This is what moms that have their shit together do. And I set this unrealistic expectation, to be honest, and this standard for myself that I had to be up at least an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours before my kids, that I had to have this elaborate morning routine. And at a certain point, I was experiencing burnout from a morning routine. And from what I could understand, from what I was getting from these coaches or following people, is the morning routine should actually give you more peace. It should give you more clarity for your day. But I was actually leaving it feeling like, oh man, like I actually feel anxious. And so, on today's episode, I want to share with you how I look at morning routines and what I'm currently doing this fall for my own morning routine, in hopes that you figure out for yourself what works best for you and what will start your day and get you to a place where you're excited and you feel joy and you have clarity and you have focus. So let me show you what's currently happening for my morning routine, and then I'm going to do a quick little mini training for you to reflect and figure out what's going to work best for you. Okay, so let me walk you through what my current morning routine looks like. Here's the thing though. My morning routine is not the same every single day. Here, and I want to tell you why. Back in the day, I put a lot of pressure on myself to make sure my morning routine was every single morning for the same amount of time, and I would do the exact same things to live up to this unrealistic standard of what I thought a morning routine looked like. So my morning routine, you're probably going to be like, oh, that is interesting. But I want to share with you what it is and why I'm choosing to do it this way, to hopefully give you a more permission or more freedom to be like, do what works for you. Like everything that I do in the Angie Method program and what I teach women, it's like play your own game. Because when you do, you feel so much more freedom and excitement and joy in doing so. So a few reflection questions. Every time I am doing my morning routine, and I actually change it now on a daily basis, but your morning routine might change seasonally, like literally winter, spring, summer, fall. It might change seasonally based on the demands of work. Maybe you're in a busy work season. Maybe it's summer and the kids are off school. Maybe it's the holidays and it just feels a little bit more stressful. So it might be season of the year or season that you're in. But what season are you in right now? What are you needing more of or less of? What I mean by this, to further elaborate, and sometimes I'm in a season where I need more sleep. Maybe my kids are waking up more in the middle of the night. Maybe I have a lot more projects that I'm working on for the business. And so my mind is up racing in the middle of the night and I'm not actually getting the sleep that my body requires. It can be a number of things that is going on. Hold on. That light just went off and that's probably going to be pretty dark right now. Hopefully you can see that. Okay. Okay. We're back. So I'm also like thinking about that. Like what capacity in terms of energy do I have to actually get up and do a morning routine? So really think about the season that you're in when you start planning out your AM time. Another question, what is my body and my mind needing? There has been times back in the day when I would do my morning routine and I did need to be journaling at those times. And I did need to be goal setting. And I did need to plan out time to do 10 minutes of reading or meditation. Like my morning routine changes based on what my body is telling me it needs from a physical standpoint and what my body and my mind are telling me from a mental and emotional. And that again is going to change on the season that I'm in and what my focus might be in my life. And so really consider, what does your body need? Like maybe it needs a workout in the morning. Maybe it needs stretching. Maybe your mind needs meditation. Maybe you just need quiet time and just sitting there and a time to be in total peace and quiet with no responsibility and nobody asking you questions or where's my shoes or open my string cheese. Like maybe you just need peace in the morning. So you really have to like zoom out and be like, what do I need right now to feel like the best version of myself? How will my AM routine add to the quality of my life? Mine got to a point where it wasn't adding to the quality of my life. It was actually too much pressure and it became a distraction for me. Okay. Number 3, how much time can you actually give to it? Like realistically, if your body is telling you it needs more sleep right now, but you still want to get up and do something maybe before your kids are up or before you do need to start the day for work, how much time can you actually give to it? And be okay with that. If it's 5 minutes and you do 5 minutes of stretching, awesome. If you can get up an hour and a half before and you want to read and journal and work out and you can do that, great. Do what works for you. All right. When I have no morning routine, okay, and when I mean no morning routine, mine changes based on the day, the season, all of the stuff I just mentioned. But if I wake up and I literally just roll into the day of the boys are up at the exact same time as me, I do feel lost. Like it's not a good feeling. It's like, oh my God, I didn't have any time to just process in my own head. And I kind of had this blah feeling like, oh my God, here we go. The day is starting. And I just kind of feel like, I have no excitement for it. It also, if I have no routine at all, it leads to a more chaotic, reactive day because I haven't had time to get aligned with myself and to ask, what do you need to accomplish today? How do you want to feel? How do you want to show up? And if I don't do that, I just kind of like blaze right into the day and I just make all these reactive decisions. If I would have just given myself even 5 minutes in the morning to think about the day ahead, I would have gone in with a proactive mindset and a more peaceful state. If I have no morning routine at all, I also start the day feeling anxious, which is interesting because I said that when I did those big, long, elaborate ones where I was comparing myself to what other people were doing and trying to replicate that in my own life, I was feeling anxious. But if I don't have a morning routine at all, I still feel anxious. And so I've had to find what I call my sweet spot of what makes sense for me with a morning routine so I can feel more at peace moving into the day. Do what works for you. This was, oh man, now my other light went out. It is going to be quite dark in here right now, but we're rolling with it. Do what works for you. I do what works for me. Like everything I coach in the Angie Method program is play your own game. So if you are comparing yourself, like I was, to what my husband's morning routine looked like, guess what? He lives in my house. I see him do it every single day. And if I wasn't showing up and doing exactly what he was doing, I was feeling less than. But he never asked me to do his morning routine. He was doing what works for him. He was playing his own game. But I was feeling terrible because I couldn't get up as early as him. I needed more sleep. My body was telling me that. And I would beat myself up and be like, why can't you get out of bed at 5 a.m. like he does? Like, what is wrong with you? And why can't you sit there and read like he does? What is wrong with you? And I was trying to force myself to do something that I actually didn't want to do. So I decided, like, play your own game. What do you need in the morning? What does your body need? What does your mind need? How do you want to feel? How do you want to set the tone for the rest of the day? The reflection question. And so I stopped comparing myself to others and setting these unrealistic expectations. I started playing my own game and I ask this every single day. What do I need today to feel peace, clarity, and joy? That's important to me. Those are 3 feelings I want to have on a daily basis. And so every single morning when I wake up, I ask myself that, and that's how I decide what my morning routine is going to look like. So currently, right now, for my morning routine, it is different every single day. Some days I wake up and I'm like, okay, I do have the time to do a workout. So I do always start like this. If I'm up before the sun, I love to sit in just like pitch black and I light a candle and I make my coffee that I want to have for the day. And I just sit and I sit in the dark, or if it's like a season of ambiance, like right now, it's Halloween decorations. So I turn them on. I just sit there. I fill up my water so I can get hydrated first thing in the morning. That's something that's important to me. I'm going to do that any day, no matter what. I hydrate. I sit peacefully with my coffee. I sit in the dark and I just think for a minute. Sometimes that is all my morning routine is. Other times, if it's a different day, again, if I have more time to do a workout, my morning routine might consist of sitting in the dark, having coffee, then working out. Other days, I just want to sit there and scroll on Pinterest. It brings me so much joy. I used to consider that bad because that wasn't like moving me forward in my business or moving me forward as a mom or whatever it was. And I'm like, well, isn't part of me being me and moving me forward doing things that I enjoy? And I'm going to tell you, scrolling through Pinterest, and especially right now when it's all the fall recipes and decorations and Christmas stuff, like it brings me joy. Being's one of the 3 emotions I want to feel. And so my day looks different based on if I need a little bit more sleep, if I do have time to do a workout, if I just want to be there mindlessly doing something because it's the time I can do it during my day. So play your own game and decide the 3 feelings you want to feel on a daily basis and what you could do in that routine to set the tone to have those feelings. And that's exactly how I do a morning routine. So this morning, when I got up and I did my morning routine, hold on, I'm going to stop that for a minute. I'm going to switch over here. I'm like multitasking here. This morning when I woke up and I did my morning routine, I knew it was a day that I would have time to do a workout based on when we get the boys to school and what are kind of my obligations for work that sometimes I like to do in the morning. Yes, sometimes I like to work first thing in the morning. So I got up, I did my thing. I made my coffee, filled up my water. I sat down. I just sat there for a little bit. I looked at my decorations. I did pull out my notebook because I do like to plan every single day, no matter what. I forgot to mention this, my 3 big rocks, which are the 3 things that I want to accomplish in that day. And those could be my 3 big rocks for health and fitness. It could be my 3 big rocks for work, but the 3 priorities that I will put my attention and intention to. So I did that. You know what? Do you know the big rock analogy? So the big rock analogy is if you were to put sand in a jar first and then try to put your big rocks in it, you'd really struggle to do that. It'd be really hard to put those rocks in. But if you put your 3 big rocks in first and then you pour the sand, it fills in around the rocks. So what we try to do in the morning, what I try to do, I should say, is I decide my 3 big rocks that if I was to get those done, that would move the needle forward towards business, towards relationships, towards family, towards health and fitness. So I do sit down with my notebook in the morning, and that takes me 2 seconds to be like, what are your 3 big rocks today? Boom, it's on paper. It gives me clarity, which is one of my goals. And then after that, I sat there and scrolled on Pinterest, which brought me joy. And then I did my workout. So it was a great morning routine. So that's how I did it. That's what's going on for my current morning routine. And again, that will look different tomorrow. So that is all I have for today's episode. And my hope for you is that if you too want to start a morning routine, that you pick and choose the things that work best for you, that make you feel more like you, more in alignment with what you want and how you want your day to look. Because at the end of the day, that precious time that we're carving out to have for ourselves, it should get us to a place for the rest of the day that we feel excited. All right, now, one last thing. If you're still working on building structure in your day with your health and fitness, and you feel like you're in and out of it, you're starting, you're stopping, sometimes you feel like, yeah, I've got a lot of mindfulness and awareness, and I know what I want for the day, and other times you feel like it's still chaotic and reactive, I wanted to share with you that we will be doing a free workshop coming up soon. I'll drop the link in the description if you want to join it. But one of our coaches, Katie, is a master when it comes to creating structure that also allows for flexibility where you can feel free to change it when you need to based on the season that you're in or the feelings that you're having or the demands and responsibilities you have. So this is what it looks like. Here's Coach Katie. Okay, and we're calling this one Build Your Forever Health and Fitness Routine with our expert coach, Katie. And we are going to teach you how to make structure work for you and how to also have flexibility. So if you want to work on building that morning routine, this would be a great place to start doing that. So click that link below, grab your seat. It is recorded. If you can't join us live, we will send out the recording for everyone that registers. All right, that's all I got. Chat soon.